Much different look tonight. Everything seemed to really click. Just what did you like about your team's resiliency of what you saw overall tonight?
I think our aggressiveness was on display from the start. First time holding outside of 30-point first quarter, so much better effort there. Defensive intensity across the board. I loved our ball pressure, forcing 24 turnovers for 30 points and 17 of those being steals. So our activity was great, and that's what made a difference from the start.
You just talked about the intensity. Can you talk about specifically Jabari and Tari's defense on Marcus Smart and LeBron James? They held them to 5-7 team. They seemed like they were really good, especially at the point of attack.
Yeah, they were great there. I think you can throw Kennard in there as well, going 3 for 8. So those guys scoring 10, 9, and 7 respectively was great. A little bit of everybody doing their job, a lot of switching, but the focus was better. Setting guys where we wanted to, making the ball, find other guys. And, when you got Aiden and Hachimura shooting the most shots, I think you're doing a good job with that.
Coach, there were a few small ball groups that prior to this game hit on a few seconds, but in terms of what you saw from them, can you talk about that aggression and the ability to cause chaos?
Yeah, the switching was good for us, even without being. I think we went to more 1 through 5 switching, and he was doing a good job there. But yes, of course, we like small, and the fact that some guys are out. Obviously, Kevin, we can activate Dorian and certain guys, so there's going to be some lineups that we haven't seen as much of. And no drop off there. I think everybody that came in contributed. Defensive intensity, like I said, was on point. Focus was good, and that's the result you get holding them under 100.
Ime, is this kind of what you've been telling the guys to do all along? Just lean into defense when you don't have Kevin or you don't have some of the other offensive things going?
I mean, in general, I don't think our defense has been terrible this series, but we knew we could do better. And when you see the numbers for James, Kennard, Smart, and obviously holding those guys out of the 20s is a better job. And so nights where you don't shoot it great, you can still rely on that, but when you shoot it like we did tonight at a 48 clip and play defense like that, you're in good shape. And so I think, regardless of Kevin being there or not, we've guarded them well enough, but we felt we could take it to another level, and I think the switching has done that for us.
Over these last 2 games, Tari has kind of taken on the LeBron defensive role primarily. What do you think about the job he's done, particularly just creating turnovers the way he has?
Yeah, his activity is great. Outside of some off-ball fouls, and we got to avoid winning the bonus. He's doing a good job denying, pushing the catches out, being solid, making them score through him and over him instead of getting by him. So doing a really good job there. Josh was okay to start the series, but Tari's length is a little bit different, and we are going after him a little bit more as well and trying to make things tough there, knowing he's a good facilitator out of the post. But a lot of that, when Tari's on him, we feel comfortable going one-on-one.
How proud are you of the grit your team showed tonight and being able to get this win, especially after the last game and not letting that linger?
Yeah, it was great. I think we said we didn't want to let that last 30 seconds defeat us in another game, and we kind of put that behind us. The focus was good today, and I think just in general, guys have pride, and so you don't want to obviously get swept and again give ourselves a chance. But we understood how well we played last game, and that was a big picture. The perspective we had was, we played a really good 3 quarters. Don't let that last 30 seconds take away from what you did, and I think it was a good carryover tonight.
Do you feel like your group has a certain swagger and energy when Tari in particular is playing well and kind of feeling himself?
I mean, yes, he does what he does. I mean, half this stuff is outside of the game plan. He just kind of goes rogue at times, and you got to turn the blind eye to it a little bit. But he's really good at what he does. And I think our group in general, the shots are falling, feel better. And so you see the numbers tonight, the shooting percentage go up for everybody. And felt like we were missing a lot of good shots, but you see them start to fall. You get more aggressive on the defensive end, and then it starts clicking. And ball movement was great. Aggressiveness on the other side was great, but it's good to see shots going for Reed and outbeating those guys, and Tari does what he does.
You talk about Tari going rogue. What does that look like in games, and how does it impact the game in a positive way for you guys?
He's just a playmaker, a disruptor, and some of the natural instincts and the things he does, you can't really teach. You want guys to be solid and follow the game plan and all that, but certain guys do what they do, and you're going to get burnt every now and then, but more often than not, he'll make the right play, get a deflection, get a steal. And so, Tari being Tari, you got to let him do what he does.
You talk about wanting to move past the end of game 3. Is there still part of you that's like, man, if we close that out, we could be going back to LA tied 2-2?
Well, of course, that's going to be in everybody's mind, but it is what it is. We lost that, and the main thing was getting this one tonight. And like I said, looking at the positives in that last game. Of course, you it could be a different thing if we finish that game. But we found some things, and confidence is rising. Momentum hopefully is on our side with that, and just continue to carry over and do what we did tonight. Really, last game.
Ime, I wanted to clarify Kevin's prognosis. Is there a possibility we see him during this series?
Yeah, possibility for sure. I think just looking at the time frame of that specific injury and what it takes, but I didn't know how bad it was initially, like you said, and then he got that prognosis, but he's doing what he can to get swelling out, mobility back, and just like the knee, we weren't sure when he was going to come back, but he snapped back pretty quickly to be available for game 2. So it is a true game-to-game, day-to-day thing.
You're a receiver. You played an Eden's elbow to Alfie. I wonder what you thought of that play and some of the chippiness there late.
I mean, it looked intentional, but I was surprised with the flagrant too, but that's the NBA nowadays, and they call it a little softer than they used to.
After the Lakers entered the bench, going get that 3, and then you called the timeout, and you guys kind of regroup. Just curious on what the message was to the team in that moment, knowing that you guys have had some struggles closing out games.
Yeah, stay locked in, stay focused on what we were doing. I felt we had 3 possessions in a row that we were in isolation instead of what we were doing, playing with the pace, getting the pick and rolls, and getting the off-ball movement going. And so, just because they take their guys out, we want to stay focused and locked in on what we do. I did love our three offensive possessions, and then he gets that, and it's a quick reminder of what we've seen in the past and locking in, getting back locked in.
Coach, I know you talked about the team being able to flush out game 3, but how impressive was it to be able to see a young player like Reed, who is, like you said, last game, him really getting his footing in these playoffs now, but him to come out as aggressive as he was, and he looked like he took playing defense up to another level tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good about his approach to it. He obviously frustrated, and on this stage, having a crucial turnover stands out, but I didn't feel like he was going to linger with him and what he does on the offensive end and defensively as well. He wanted to switch a little bit more and get out of some coverages that had us in rotations at the time. And so there's going to be some cross matches in the post, in transition. They got a few hit heads, early deep seals, but he's fighting more, doing his part as far as that. And then offensively, like I said, I don't ever think he loses his confidence, make or miss. He's getting really good looks, and could be a different series if he was knocking those down, but good to see it going now.
Last one.
And a franchise playoff record for you guys with 17 steals. How important is that to kind of fuel the transition offense and get you guys some easy looks?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows our aggressiveness on that end, the deflections and the steals, and when you can score 30 points off of 24 turnovers, the aggressiveness is up. And 17 obviously is those live ball steals. We can get out and run and play with pace, and so that's been a key in the series, is trying to get up and down when that defense is not set, and then playing fast in the half court as well. But obviously that's a needed, and obviously contributed to our 115.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.